All right, we push the big red button. All right, so a quick reminder, Wi-Fi information and the URL for feedback surveys are on your schedule. Please remember you can send an email to safety@DrupalCorn.org if you have any concerns. If there's an emergency, please call 911. So thanks for coming to why contributing to the community is important for your company's health today. And please help me welcome David Belich. Belich. Sorry, a Drupal developer at Code Koalas. All right. Woo.
Thanks. So, yeah, sure. Ooh, it's even better. Now you can't see me. So today I'm going to be talking about why contributing to the community is important for your company's health. Before I start, I did hear a rumor that the food's almost gone, so if you need to eat, quickly run. Quickly go. A little bit about myself. I started coding in the 90s on the Web 1.0, Angel Fire, GeoCities, all that fun stuff. I killed my sanity on Kernel 1 on Linux, still haven't recovered. I did get a degree in PHP web development, piano performance, kind of random stuff. Since then I've been working in video production, design, marketing for some nonprofits. And now, full circle, I'm back in Drupal. So hopefully this talk will be a little bit different take, or at least a little basic take from what I've learned working with some nonprofits and stuff like that. So, first of all, does anybody practice giving back? Awesome. Any quick examples of what you do?
My WordPress marketing team, make that WordPress.org/marketing. I'm trying to do my best to write tours.
Nice. Cool.
I do a lot of documentation on Drupal.org. So.
Awesome. I know, at least in our company and where I came from before, we're always talking about giving back. What can we give to the community? It always seems harder than it should be. Like, where do you start? You know, there's so much going on. How do you even start giving back? So first of all, let's lay the groundwork. Highly effective companies do give back. Whether it's donations to charity, helping the less fortunate, food drives, stuff like that, the best companies find some way to give back to their community, whether it's open source or harvesters or stuff like that. What is important though is as you start to give back, that you try and find something that aligns with your core values. So if you're a dev shop, I mean, it's nice to give back to harvesters or a food bank, but will that really help your brand and help your employees grow? So I like trying to find something that aligns with the core values with your brand and really making sure that everything is synergy with that. And nowadays people even see it as a social responsibility for companies to give back, and everybody seems to expect that you just do it. So why do companies do it? Is it even worth the time or effort? Many see no value in it. Like my friend Godzilla there is no value in jumping and dancing. So any ideas why people do give back? Cool. Well, first of all, common myths why they don't is no time. Especially in dev shops, we're always super busy, we're pressed for time, capacity is always over what we can do, and it's really hard to waste the time giving back to the community. Spoiler alert, if you try and wait for more devs to be hired on or more people so that you have extra time, it's never going to happen. Never. Another common myth is too many projects. Whether you have too many projects right now that you're all working on, or you're trying to get more projects for Q4, there's always going to be too much stuff on the plate to really find extra time to contribute back to the community. Another common myth is employees just don't want to, especially devs. We like to be in a dark room and typing and not talking to people. Like, why would we go out and help a homeless guy or do some give back somewhere? I mean, I understand why, but it seems like a lot of people, that doesn't really jive with their personality. And fourthly, there are a lot of companies giving back, so some people think if I also give back in my company, it's just kind of white noise. Like, there's so many people over at the Red Cross doing stuff, like, am I really going to make a difference? Is it just going to be too many people, too many cooks? So what's the truth? Is there any value for your company to give back? According to American Charities snapshot of 2015, 88% of employers do believe that effective employee engagement programs help and retain employees. So cold hard facts that giving back does help your company and your employees. Reasons successful companies give back. As you can probably tell, I like Godzilla for whatever strange reason. So one of the important reasons to give back is that giving back connects your brand to the community. It especially says, like, hey Des Moines or hey Kansas City, we're here for the long haul. We're interested in putting our roots down. We want to be a company here for the next 20, 30 years, and we're willing to invest our time and our effort to give back to the community. And people love that. They love seeing that you're actually invested in what you're doing. Building on that, it is socially responsible for you to give back to your community, and it helps build your brand. It shows that you care about where you work, that you want to make your city and your town a better place, and through whatever you're doing, whether it's Drupal community givebacks and you want to make the Drupal community a better place, or something local, it's nice to give back and help that. Another reason that successful companies give back is that it differentiates them from the greedy ones, especially nowadays where you hear of big names, Facebook, Tesla, all these people who say that they're doing good, but they really are cooking books or doing this and that. Companies tend to get a bad rap that we're just out to make a quick buck, which quick bucks are nice, but you also want to make sure that you differentiate your company from all those other ones. People love sharing stories about givebacks as well. It helps create a little bit of viral marketing, a little bit of oomph to what you're doing. It's true that clickbait does work, where you can say, puppy falls down well, you won't believe what happens next. People love that sort of thing to show what you're doing and how you're helping people. It resonates with basic human needs and helps humanize your company. Another reason why companies give back is it boosts employee morale. Giving back helps attract and retain better employees because, as a earlier presentation said, the keynote this morning, people want to be part of something bigger. They want to be part of a cause. They want to give back. They want to leave the company, their city, the world a better place for having been here. So giving them an opportunity to give back helps. And on a more basic level, it obviously makes your community, whether Kansas City, Des Moines, Drupal, a better place. Even better than you found it. And giving back helps create new connections. You're out there and helping at harvesters or doing something at a local food shelter, and you connect with a client and they see that you're a potential client and they see what you're doing, and then suddenly you start talking and networking, and that may lead to more work and more money. So these reasons are all well and good, but when talking about a dev shop, how does it exactly apply? Because, obviously community can be Drupal community, or community can be city community. So when you're struggling to find help and complete projects and land clients, how does this really help you? And the answer, I think, lies in the marketing value of community feedback, of community give back, especially to Drupal. And Drupal has some amazing qualities that we as businesses should be connecting with and associating ourselves with, which I'm sure is no surprise to any of you. So the amazing marketing strengths of Drupal. When you associate your company with Drupal and giving back to Drupal, you are associating yourself with many things, such as forward thinking. We're not just trying to build one-off websites, we're trying to contribute to Drupal core, we're trying to create a better environment for Drupal 8, 9, all that stuff. We're trying to think forward and create better stuff that will create a solid foundation. Obviously, Drupal is independent, open source. We're not stuck with horrible closed source or Microsoft stuff. So contributing to that is always good. Drupal has a great support network. You aren't relying on a couple people trying to support a closed source system. You have thousands of devs and contributors all over the world helping to support and make your website better. Contributions from the smartest in the field. Obviously, everybody's contributing and pulling together. Crowdsourced, customer focused. We're all trying to make a better website, a better platform. Checks and balances, testing, commits, beta modules, and some of the biggest brands use Drupal. And when you start associating yourselves with that sort of thing, you're forward thinking, independent, you want to be customer focused, all that stuff, that's good stuff for your company. So on traction, don't just ride the wave, you should start leading the wave. I like that one. So if you want to succeed, you need to stop riding on the coattails of good developers and start being a good contributor and developer yourself. You should put yourself ahead of the pack and start leading the wave. So when you start giving back to Drupal, you position yourself as an expert in the community. Some of the most widely used modules were born from contribution. And can you imagine working without some of the core stuff that we have now if somebody hadn't decided to create it, contribute it, and then everybody banded together and made it better? So if you have knowledge in your shop that's already developed custom modules, you should consider submitting that and helping the community. It helps you build agency trust, because agencies love working with shops that are proven that they're experienced. In my experience, other CMSs tend to attract amateurs, like anybody can code, anybody can submit modules or plugins and stuff, and there's not that deep-rooted community backing that Drupal has. So being part of Drupal really helps build that expertise and experience when other people are looking at you. Obviously, contributing to Drupal helps make your devs better because iron sharpens iron. Getting involved in the community helps employees become better coders. As they contribute, people from across the world can start to lend their expertise and tell them different ways of doing it, and collaboratively we all start to become better coders. It helps build your brand because give back is important regardless of charity or open source, and making yourself a champion of open source software helps build that trust and helps build you as a company that has experience in Drupal. Long term, contributing helps you shift from a short-term focus to a long-term focus. We obviously don't want quick one-off websites. I hate those. It's horrible just to throw something together and be done with it, and then 3 months later have to go back and say, why the crap did I ever do this? We should be looking long-term and building things that are future-minded. For example, at least for me, something that is terrifying is end of life for Drupal 7 and 8. And when you look at all the modules that Drupal 8 still has in beta or alpha, and think that they all need to be in Drupal 9 in 4 or 5 years, that's frightening. So lots of work. It also helps you become thought leaders, where you're contributing and building out the bleeding edge of the web, and that helps position you as an expert in your field. You know where tech's going because you're leading the wave. You're leveraging your experience and being a guide for the Drupal community. So, what should I do now? So, mostly where I've put my thought recently is, knowing all of this that I know we all know, how can we start to give back in a more effective way? It might seem daunting to start writing a module, but there's other ways you can give back. Such as submitting custom modules. Like, I'm currently working on a website where I want a YouTube feed importer to import a specific playlist, map it out to entities, publish it, push it to a podcast. There's stuff like that, but nothing exactly like what I'm looking for. So once I write that, that might be a good thing to contribute that other nonprofits might use. It's also good to fix existing module bugs. Goodness knows there's more than enough of those everywhere. And as you use modules, you can download them, fix some bugs, push up patches. You can also beta test modules and leave feedback on them. And something I've learned is don't just be negative and tell people what doesn't work. You should always also tell people what does work. Because if they only hear what doesn't work, they never hear what does work. And that's not necessarily helpful. You can also help build better design in UX. I know that there's a lot of things in Drupal that could probably benefit from a little bit better design, and sadly most people think you can only contribute through coding, through modules, and stuff like this would really be helpful. Other things you can do are write instructions and readmes. Devs aren't usually good at that, but if you have project managers or other people, they can help provide that documentation for other people who use modules. You can also write for Drupal. Whether it's their press releases, website content, there's tons of ways to contribute if you aren't a developer. One way that we've been looking at recently is writing default content, especially with Drupal 8 on the first install. Some of the default stuff that you get isn't really helpful, especially when people can install WordPress, immediately get this whole beautiful thing. You know, we should be selling the benefits of Drupal and having some good content there. Some good basic default content really helps people see what it can do. Other ways to contribute, marketing. They always need help doing stuff, and admin sorcery, you know, helping people and sprints move all around and do stuff. So helping in the community is more than just obviously writing code or submitting patches. There's a lot of ways that your company can be involved, from writing, UX, submitting modules, all sorts of stuff. So one of the ways you can start is encouraging employees to sign up for Drupal accounts. If they use modules, they should leave and give regular feedback, comment what works, what doesn't work, and really make it part of the culture of what you're doing. Like, don't just do it every week, you know, use a module, make it part of what you do every day to leave comments and feedback. You can see what the needs are and pick some things that align with your company's values. Like, one thing that we're looking at is scheduling some quarterly give back days, whether it's in the community or compiling a list of patches and stuff that we can test and contribute to. We're looking to do that. You can host local meetup sprints or help develop local talent that you may need later on. Another thing that we've been doing recently are workshop Wednesdays. Oh, if you could please leave, sir. One of the things we've been focusing on recently are workshop Wednesdays, where every Wednesday internally we either work on open source, contributing modules, fixing patches, or we work on giving a talk to help others in the community learn how to do this. We also have been doing community meetups, like I said, and really trying to get people in the community to learn the benefits of open source and Drupal. In the end, contributing is great for the community, great for your business, and great for the skills of your devs. If you want to make it help your business, it's how you present it that works and really makes a difference. So, not just doing it, but you also have to market it. Like, for instance, be the Drupal champion by writing blogs and white papers and really tell people what you're doing so that they can help jump on that wave that you're creating. Posting it to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, make it look like you're the open source champion that's pushing everybody else forward, even though those social media places are horrible and I would never want to be on it. It's important, but I am on it. It also makes creating success stories also makes it easy for people to view you as the expert and leader. It builds trust and validates your brand and your company. So for instance, host meetups like we're doing, which is always good. And obviously with everything, as you start to have give-backs and your devs start to contribute and really be involved in Drupal, you need to make sure that you measure the return on your investment, see what works, double down on it, and make sure that you put resources into what is getting the best kickback for you. And through giving back, we can all build a better Drupal community for us and our business. Questions? It was kind of a lower type thing, but yes.
Yeah. So how do you convince your clients that contributing back work is part of your work with them is important? Or do you become that advocate?
Do you have any ideas?
Yeah. We try and have that conversation with them that the amount that they're getting for free, starting to place that other people give back. We're working on like a line item percentage in our scopes of work for give back and making it optional so that we force that conversation of like, do you want to spend money to give back or not, and force them to kind of understand that choice.
Also, there's a choice when you commit back to tag an organization. You convince them to be that organization, and then they're looking good too because they're getting those points. Just like your company is. So that's how we try to do it. But we have a lot of people, they just aren't interested because the custom code or whatever. But that's how we do it. It's just there's this checkbox for you.
And I would add that lunch is a powerful motivator to get people to give back. That's how we get people to
Yes.
we buy you lunch, and then you're just going to sit there for an hour anyways.
Yep.
Do you-
Incentives.
I'm not familiar with your company, so I apologize. I don't know how many employees you have, but do you have like a built-in like 80-20 kind of thing?
How would you say that? I've done marketing and stuff for a long time, but I'm still fairly new to the company, so I tend to default.
No, we don't have anything strict built in. We're a company of 12 people, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
so-
not strict necessarily, but do you like for that like what Matt was talking about this morning, that burnout thing, because we don't want to work 40 hours and then give 8 hours, that sort of thing, is there that, I don't know, we do Friday sprints with people, like if they want to either work on their blog posts or contribute back, and it's a 2-hour block that we all block off, and whatever they want to work on kind of thing, you know what I mean? But if they don't want to contribute, then they don't have to. But I'm just wondering, how other companies get the, because I think for me it's hard to get some of the people to help they don't want to help. Employees, you know, they're like, you know. So I'm just like, how do other people get the devs to want to do that too?
Mhm.
So it's a struggle.
They provide lunch.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say our Wednesday lunches are pretty helpful, but also sitting down and having the conversations about how we're going to give back.
Mhm.
Because I feel like it's overwhelming as
Mhm.
far as like what you're going to do and getting people to work together on fixing things.
Mhm.
So we're trying to do that.
Yeah. It's a long process.
So is your 2 hours successful then, or successful with some people?
Well, we're on page 1 of the marketplace. We only have 12 employees, so I think it's successful, you know. Because like, look, the 2 hours, not everyone like, we have a Zoom room, we're all remote, you know, so
Okay.
we do a Zoom room, and if you want to be in there, you can. And then we started a new thing a few weeks ago with office hours with the senior architect. So if we have a person who's maintaining Simply Test Me on our team. So like on Wednesdays, he's the senior architect, and like he wants people to get more into the code. So he's like, here's Simply Test Me, a tool that the community uses because you know that huge barrier to entry is local
Right.
development, right? So that's been sort of some people's incentive too. Is here's this big project, I want to be a part of like the redesign of Simply Test Me, you know, and but since we've been doing the sprints, it's been about 6 months, I've noticed more people contribute because they have that block. And we kind of like bullshit and, you know, talk, because we're remote, right? So, you know, so as we're patching, and we do the tag team thing, like someone puts up a patch and then someone reviews it, or I don't code, you know, but I do a lot of patching, so I have to rely on like, hey, people send me the bug and I have to figure it out. You know,
Mhm.
but
What company are you with?
Hook 42. So, and we do a lot of community outreach, which I think more employees like. You know, like the speaking at camps, and you know, we do like women in Drupal and stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I just like I said, like some people, it's just really hard to like convince them to. Because I don't understand because I like it so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
We do some quarterly themes where, like this quarter, everybody sits down every week and works on a blog or an innovation or stuff like that, and a reward is skiing or a paintball or something. And then every week we remind people and see where they're at in that progress. I think that's helpful.
That's helped on the peer pressure side of
Yes.
things. Yes. When it's
Yep.
like, hey, together we have to get like 20 done. And so it's like, hey, I think we've actually structured it so that it's like everyone has to do at least one. So now you've got people ganging up on the few who are maybe sitting on the sidelines and being like, hey, I really want to go skiing. Peer pressure is a good thing.
It is. Just like high school.
There's a sprint tomorrow, everyone. So.
Thanks.
And we do that too. We put a list of issues in, you know, in a queue for people so they can like scan the issues and find what, you know, if they work on accessibility, you know, they can, because I find the issues and then whoever wants to work on the stuff, so there's some sort of like, I get to choose what I want to work on sort of thing.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think getting started is half the battle.
Yeah. Yep. Any other questions? Comments? How you're doing things?
Is there like a site that talks about case studies or how to contribute back or? Does it sound like a site I'd like to read?
Yeah, I think there is. I can't recall what the URL is right now. If
It wouldn't just have to be Drupal, but like if you
Yeah.
project.
I'm sure that charity site probably has some stuff about why and how it helps companies. I'll find that and tweet it. Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.